Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Florida. And today our question comes to us from Draconum Blade. And Draconum Blade asks if I have top picks for movies that either get magic right or are just fun to enjoy in a magical sort of way. And my answer to this is yes, I absolutely do have a few that I would recommend to people, and I would recommend them very highly. And I'm not going to do them all in this vlog. I'm going to take them one at a time, and I'm not sure that the next vlog is going to be all that soon, but I'm going to talk about the several different movies I would recommend in terms of either getting magic right or having something relevant to say about it. And the first movie that I'm going to talk about is one of the earliest movies I encountered in my life that made a strong impact on me in this way, and that is the 1932 Mummy, with Boris Karloff and Zita Johann. And in terms of movies that get magic right, you might say, how could a movie about a revived mummy possibly get magic right? However, to be perfectly honest, I don't really think that's what the movie's about. The movie is about reincarnation, it's about magic, and it's about the Egyptian gods and the idea of the relevance of Egyptian religion. And unlike all other movies that I've ever seen dealing with the theme of the mummy, all the remakes, all the sequels, this one actually is metaphysically good. And if you overlook the idea of resurrecting the mummy, everything else about this movie is very good metaphysics. And even the idea of resurrecting the mummy comes in a certain way straight out of Egyptian religion. And it comes out of Egyptian religion in the sense of the Book of Thoth, which actually does figure in Egyptian legend, although it doesn't talk about reviving mummies. But the movie talks about reincarnation, and the heroine, Helen Grosvenor, is portrayed as the reincarnation of the Princess Ankhesenamun, who of course was a real person, but the character is not. And part of the film actually deals with what we would normally term a past life regression that she experiences, portrayed in relatively realistic terms. Not perfectly realistic, but relatively realistic. The whole premise of the movie is based on her reincarnation. Magic is all through this movie, as are the Egyptian goddesses Isis and Bast. And when the obligatory wise professor gives the harried maiden an amulet to protect her, it's not a silver crucifix, it's a silver image of the goddess Isis. And he's telling her the power of Isis will protect her. In 1932, he's recommending her to a pagan goddess. And that's the protective amulet that she carries in the movie. And the thing that I really like about this movie is the ending. Because in the end, when the mummy has the beautiful heroine trapped and is going to kill her and then revive her to be with him throughout all eternity, it's not her dashing Christian boyfriend who breaks down the door and saves her. It's not the obligatory wise professor who saves her. She saves herself. And she saves herself by drawing upon her past life memories. And she falls at the feet of the image of the goddess Isis, and she invokes the goddess. And she asks the goddess to help her, and she apologizes for breaking her vows. And the goddess strikes the mummy down. The heroine of the movie, in the end, is Isis. And I think that's really remarkable for what is normally thought of as being merely a horror film. In terms of pagan movies, I would have to say it's one of the top pagan movies ever made, because the entire premise and the entire worldview is pagan. And Christian and Jewish and other monotheist ideas never enter into this movie in any way. I don't believe they're even referred to. And that's really quite remarkable, especially when you consider it's 1932. But then I always tell people these things are much older than people like to pretend they are. And Egyptian religion did have quite a bit of revivalism going on during that period. And I'm sure that those people love this film too. So if you're a devotee of Isis, consider watching this film and watch it not in terms of being a horror film, but in terms of being a metaphysical film, and I think you'll find it a bit of a revelation. One of the great sorrows of the film The Mummy is that the visuals for the past life regression scene were cut out of the film. All you have is the dialogue, and not even all of that. There was a contract dispute with the leading actress, and they decided to give her less screen time. And only still photos remain that show her different lifetimes that were originally part of the story. However, even without that footage, the past life regression scene is still very important and very relevant, and again, within the bonds of Hollywood, very accurate. So in terms of films that get magic right, Excluding the revived Mummy, otherwise the 1932 Mummy is a very metaphysically accurate movie in my opinion, and shows paganism in a very positive light. So I highly, highly recommend it. And in future vlogs, not tomorrow's vlog, but soon, I'll talk about other movies that I strongly recommend, either because of their magical or their pagan themes. So I hope you found that interesting, and until next time, may you blessed be. Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from witchschool.com. Are you looking for the best in pagan and magical education? With more than 12,000 pages, witchschool.com is like having your own personal library with individual learning assistants to help you study. And Witch School's Anyone, Anytime, Anywhere education system is available any place on Earth, anywhere you are and anytime you want it, as long as you have an internet connection. Witch School's lifetime memberships are a great value. They really do last a lifetime. They've been there for years and they'll be there for years to come. So get your membership today at witchschool.com.